So I'm going to use your terminology for this because I watched a great interview of you the other day, and I like the way that you phrase this. Is there, in Hollywood, was there the one pig monster, or is it like he's not even the worst and there are people just as bad as the pig monster?
Well, he was definitely the worst. He, unless you count a director who has famously and repeatedly been accused of child molestation, who I know ran basically the biggest pedophile ring in Hollywood.
Wow. Jesus.
So I would say there's the male on male side of it that's not explored. And every studio, they would just move that director around, very famous director.
Ugh.
Hello, man. And, many allegations. And then the studio would each set about destroying whoever the victim was coming forward there. If you look back at Bryan Singer's history, he did a movie called At Pupil in the 90s, and there was a lawsuit where alleging, and I believe there's a big settlement involved in this, and of course the parents all had to sign NDAs. There was like a big shower scene with 11-year-old boys, and there was all footage taken that was played on the home circuits in Hollywood.
Jesus Christ!
And it's well known; everybody knew. I knew, and I'm not. Yeah, that wasn't my world. That wasn't a party I was being invited to, But the one who was thanked more than God at the Oscars was Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
And so he was the pinnacle of it there. Previous generations, I'm sure it was another. It's not an aberration. It is not. And everyone's like, well, the women would have slept with him for parts. Yeah, maybe, but that's not what they like, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's not what they want. They feed off humans.
Yeah.
And they eat very special people, and then they set about to destroy them. And so Hollywood, it is a morass. And for me, there was the pig monster, call it what it is. But yeah, there were, and like in most people that have been victimized and then have to become survivors of that victimization, there's the one big one that stands out. But there's a lot of other. I mean, the amount, like there is I will allege this here. There was a CAA, Creative Artists Agency agent that I met with, or he was a former one. He had just left there and was starting his own organization. I was 40, maybe 41. And I was at the Beverly Hills Hotel, and I was like pretty much only doing voiceovers at this point. My career had been just so destroyed. And he had a meeting with me at the Beverly Hills Hotel in kind of the most private area that you could get. And it was 7 p.m., and he was showing me pictures of his wife and newborn kid, talking about my future if I wanted to work with him, but kind of being vague about it at the same time. I stood up to leave. He grabs the back of my head, jams his tongue down my throat. Says, I've always wanted to do that for years and years. And I thought, I am 40. Still?
Wow.
Still.
Wow. What disturbs me so much, Rose, is I had no idea how systemic the abuse was. I thought, well, of course, it's Hollywood, there's got to be some abuse. But the thing that was astonishing to me is that, the person has an agent or a manager who sets up the meetings, and then you have the hairstylist who looks the other way, and then you have this person who's aiding in this way. And that really shook me to my core, because it's like, yeah, everybody's sort of aiding and abetting the worst possible crimes,
It's not sort of, it is actually fact. I was there. I mean, for me, the management company that I was with, I turned to after the day that Weinstein assaulted me, the management company, the head of this very powerful management company at the time, he said, God damn it, I just had an LA Times expose about him killed. He owes it to me not to do this.
Whoa.
And then a woman reached out to my former assistant a couple years ago and said, I was the one they hired to pretend I worked as a criminal attorney who had an inside track with LAPD and whether your case was fileable or not. But I am an actor, and they hired me to sit down with you and straight to your face.
Wow.